Howdy, everybody. Gonna give this a whirl. Don't know if you can hear me exactly. If you can, give me let me have a comment. Put a comment in the comment section or whatever you put it in to let me know if you can hear me. I was having trouble with my mic, and I don't know if I'll be able to hear. I'm gonna have a friend come on. Troy Roberts is also going to come on. Um, and okay, all right, Brandon, thank you. So I wanted to get on here and do a little while, talk for a few minutes, and let you guys interact and see how this works. I'm fairly new to live streaming, and I wanted to see how this worked. I would like to. My plans are to start having a live stream on a regular basis. I don't know exactly when that will be, how often, but I got a group of guys that we want to get together and do that often, and that will be a lot of fun. And before I get on there and do that, I want to try to get the bugs worked out of all this system. Hey, Christopher, Dominic. Um, so again, being new to this, I've totally lost train of thought here. Hey, Frizzo. Wanted to. Our goal is to get on here and just obviously topic related. Talk about the model car hobby. Um, you can watch videos and get lots of information, but it's a lot of fun to me to actually have to actually be interactive with a live stream and talk to guys and have questions come in and answer those things. Um, and that is my goal. Hey, William Wagman. Yeah, so this is my problem. You guys, if you've watched my videos, you know that I have a terrible time focusing. I'm like, I can't focus on anything. So for me to read I totally lose my train of thought when I read a comment. So having someone else on the screen with me to help me to be able to do that is going to be great. And I'm waiting on Troy to come in, and I'm not sure if I sent him that link properly earlier. And if you guys don't mind, I'm not trying to be rude, but I need to look at my phone really fast to see if he got that link, because again, this being so new to me, I may not have seen it. Troy, if you're watching, um, and I haven't sent it to you, let me know. So this is going to be a lot of fun. This is not going to be a long video tonight, although I did have a yeah, I'm human, all right. And it's very evident, Steve, how human I am whenever it comes to doing multiple things at one time, like reading that, looking at this camera, and trying to look at my phone. I've already messed this whole thing up, which that makes it a lot of fun because you can't go back and fix this one. But if it goes so bad, I can always just go delete, and I can just delete this whole thing if you guys don't like it. I've got a pretty little lapel mic here because I have earbuds and I have all this stuff and I can't get them to work. It's like I had all this stuff set up. It was ready to go in 5 minutes before it's time to go. It's like my earbuds aren't working. My mic's not working. And it's like, so I stuck this thing in there and I think it's working because you guys are responding. But, what's my favorite model car? So I already got a question. Sim 21. I don't really think you want me to pronounce that, but anyway, favorite model car is, I just got it. It's right here. My favorite model car is this 32 Ford Vicky. And the reason it's my favorite model car is because I have so many memories of this, building it as a kid. It may be a big piece of junk when I get to building it that I don't remember. But as far as it being favorite, as far on my memory list, this is it right here. And I just got this. It's an open kit, but it's an old one from when I was, 10, 9, 10, 11 years old, whatever. But this is it. This is my favorite model car right here so far. Now, out of the ones I've built, well, I guess that would be it. But the ones I've built recently, the 442, 1969 442 Oldsmobile. I've got a video of it. It was a lot of fun. And then the 455 is basically the same model kit as the 442, and it was the Hearst Olds, and it was a lot of fun. Hey, John. Hey, John. I'm on your coattails, man. I've been watching your live streams, and I like them, so I thought I'd give it a shot. Thanks for coming in here. I still, as I mentioned a while ago, my attention span is so short. I forgot that I was supposed to look at my phone because I got sidetracked on a comment. So there he is. Okay, never mind. There's Troy. Can you hear me, Troy?
Yeah. I don't think you want to look at me with all these stripes on me.
Okay, hold on. Let me get my.
Nope, that isn't going to work.
Okay. Maybe I do have to wear these things. Okay, they have left and right. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Sorry you have to look at me with all these little lines on my blind. The sun's coming right in through my window.
That's no problem at all.
Yep.
So I've just been telling these people what our plans were, Troy, and Troy will be accompanied also by Chris Callan and Mark from Hobby Nut Models. He'll also be on the next live stream that we have. I was just trying to tell them how I'm a very it's hard for me to stay on task, so I get very distracted. I was trying to read some comments earlier, and I forgot I tried to send you the link, and anyway, I was totally off topic. Hey guys, check this out. So that 55 that I had been that I unboxed the other day, I got some paint on it today, and it looks amazing. I'm going to do the rear part is going to be white or cream if I have any cream color, but it's going to be red and this whatever cream color. But it turned out so darn nice. That doesn't even have clear coat on it. That's just straight out of the tester's bottle with lacquer thinner. So that's really nice.
Looks real good.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. Let's see. So all the way from France. Hello from France. What time is it in France right now? Golly, you're up late. Hit the like, helps the channel. Yeah, please hit the like. John Paul's doing a build series of a 55 Chevy. Yeah, I've been hearing you talk about that, John, about the 55. You wanted to get a 55. I thought about that when I got this one, but it's not the hard top, so it wouldn't have done you any good if I'd have sent this one for a drag car. What paint do I use? Right here. So the paint that I painted this with today was, you won't be able to read it. My camera's probably not good enough, but it's the Tester's gloss red. That's all it is. It's just that gloss red, but it's the enamel, not the acrylic. And I mix 1 part or 2 part paint and 1 part lacquer thinner. And it seems like the lacquer thinner makes the paint lay down a lot more smooth. I was using reducer before, and it didn't do so well, but with the lacquer thinner, and that was recommended to me by a fellow on our Facebook page or group, and it makes the paint lay down much smoother and shinier. Let's see. Oh, you just got a 55 in the John Paul says he got a 55 in the mail. All right, that's great. I'm looking forward to see that. So what are you working on, Troy?
Well, currently I'm working on this. Well, you can't really see it because of the sun.
Yeah, you sent me a text.
Yeah, I did. And I'm going to highly recommend that nobody build this. It's just not a good model at all. I'm struggling with
the windshield.
I'm struggling with the bed. The side panels of the bed, they are not. There's no locator pins, and I'm not even sure. I'm sorry, this light. It's just horrible.
It's okay.
House faces the west, so I'm sorry. I'm just trying to guess on how this thing goes on here. I'm not real sure, but I'm really struggling with it. It's not lining up. There's no locator pins. Most of the trackers went together pretty good, except I heard I'm going to run into a problem with the windshield. HPI guy put this truck together, and he said the windshield come up short.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a plan for that. I'm going to use some Lexon plastic for that. I'm going to that's not my concern with it. But anyway, that's what I'm working on right now. I'm just struggling with it.
Yeah, when you sent me that text and I forgot to respond to you, but when I saw that you said that it was I've got
It's
two of them there, 55, and they say the windows don't fit. So I've not ever even opened them because I'm like, why even try? Because there's like a gap, and there's a gap in the windshield, and I don't know, and they're still producing that model with the windshield that doesn't fit. That's what I can't figure out is they keep turning it out, and it doesn't fit.
yeah. So I shouldn't be quick to judge it. I'm just having a hard time with the bed, and that's why I texted you last night. I was going to see if you put one together and you knew what to do with it. Maybe one of your listeners tonight or have some ideas on what to do. I can't really show you
Yeah,
real well,
yeah, I haven't heard any problems with the bed.
but maybe it's just me. But I'm just having a hard time with it.
I don't know. You built that Ford. What was that? It's right here, right
Yeah, I,
there. The long wheelbase 4-wheel drive, and you said
mhm.
it wasn't the best either, right?
No, but I made it work. It turned out actually mine. It turned out pretty good. It's I've seen some people had some real problems with it, but I just
Yeah,
monkeyed around with it long enough to where I got everything to line up just right, and it actually looks pretty nice. It's a
yeah.
decent.
That's what I was telling you and Chris Callan the other night when we were testing this, or the other day, whenever it was, is that you don't have to make them look perfect. It's all in how it's the camera operator. It's how
Yeah,
so
yeah.
when you take a picture, you only take a picture of the good side. You don't take a picture of the bad side and
Hmm.
things like that. But hey,
Well,
real quick,
maybe.
take a minute to tell these guys that are on here, if you haven't already gone over to our Facebook group, to go over and join our Facebook group, and it's going to be in the description of this video. Um, I don't know. Some of you guys, because your Facebook is not your YouTube name, I'm not sure if you're on there or not, but I would assume that a lot of you guys are. But if you get on there, send me like a message and say, hey, this is, whoever on YouTube. So I'll be able to associate that with your with your Facebook name, because a lot of time people's Facebook name is their actual name most of the time. So there was something I wanted to talk about, and it has fled my mind. So William Wagman says he's been building since '62. Um, well, that's a darn long time to be building model cars.
It's
Round
good that
two.
you're still doing it though.
I I've I don't even have any models that old. I think the oldest one I've got's like the early '70s. I don't even have any from the '60s. Says Brian from Got Fuel Garage. I think that fixed the windows. Not on Facebook. Oh, you don't have Facebook. Yeah, a lot of people don't have Facebook. I didn't have Facebook until I wanted to start a Facebook group, so I did that. And then you get sucked into the Facebook vacuum where you're always looking at this stupid thing. And yeah, John Paul, you said you've been building model cars like 50 years or something, right? He may have already said that. So when we sorry for the dead space, but when we get going, the next week or so, we'll have a formal live stream with Troy and Chris Callan and Mark from Hobby Nut as well. We're going to go through and just tell each other's story, how we got started, and how we why we do this. Because if anyone comes to my house and I'm kind of hesitant to tell them what I do for a hobby, because it's like most people think it's just little plastic toys. It's not, why do you want to play with toys? You're like 45 years old playing with toys. But the reason that I do it, I have a reason behind it, and it's not because I like to push little cars around. It's because I'm not going to get into my whole story, but that's what I want to do. I want us to get on here and talk about how we got started and why we do it and why we continue to do it, even though we're older. Troy, you're in your early 50s. I think you said I'm in my late or mid 40s.
Hmm.
I mean, you got guys that are 70, 80 years old, been doing it all of their entire life. Why? because it's a lot of fun, and you learn how things work when you're in the shop with your dad or whatever as a child, and you're working on something and you learn the mechanics of things. When you get older, or when you start building model cars, it all makes sense, and it makes it real. It makes it a lot more fun, at least for me, and that's why I like to do it. And anyway, I'm gonna stop because I'm going to give my whole story away, and I'm going to save that for maybe next week when we can all get on here and do that. My dad was 88 and still building. Wow. Burn the Ford kits. No, I won't burn the Ford kits, but I do remember the other night. There's a 34 Ford. You can't see it. It's right over here, and it's got for some reason AMT made a mistake. The designers or something, the engineers at AMT, when they designed that 34 Ford, for some reason they accidentally put a Chevrolet engine in it, and it doesn't belong in there, but somehow they made it fit. And it's a good thing it's a model car, because if it was a real car and it had a Chevrolet engine in it, probably wouldn't even go. So those are the things that you can look at. If I don't want to put a coil wire on my car, it's because it's not going to run anyway. Good thing, because that thing that Ford 34 Ford with a Chevy engine in it. Anyway, trying to roast you, John. So anyway, I'm not a Chevy fan, but I would drive one if I had to. So finished the 1968 Chevelle yesterday. Well, are you on our Facebook group? I know you're in France, but we have some French people on there. They put the Chevy in the hills first. Chevy in the old Fords because of the oil pan. Maybe so. Maybe it was because of the oil pan. I don't know, John. At least it's not a Toyota. Anyway, I could just sit and read these all night, and that's not the purpose of this. I just want to get on here and do the testing, make sure that we could get on here, make sure that our volumes, and I'm not sure, guys, if you can make a comment, my volume compared to Troy's volume, is it equally? Is one of us too loud? One of us not loud enough? Just let us know, because these are the things I wanted to get on here and purposefully do, is just to get this tuned in, so when we get these live streams going, we won't look like a bunch of blittering idiots on here, and it's fine. Okay, this is just a first time for me, and to think of something continually to talk about is easy for me. But Troy, I don't even let you talk, so go ahead.
No, you're doing just fine. I'm easing myself into this, Matt. Got a question for you, and kind of a neat one. How many models do you think you built in your life?
Actually, not as many as you think, because I have such a large gap in my. I don't remember how many I built as a kid. I had a shelf full of them. I had a lot. I probably built, somewhere about 20 or 30 as a kid, somewhere around that. And then I had a gap of 35, probably 30 to 30, about 30 years that I didn't build any. And I picked it back up. And now I counted the other day, I have like 50 that I've built. So, roughly 80 to 100 total. That's nothing to compare to some people.
I know there's a few guys on Facebook. It seems like they're putting a new one on every single night.
Yeah, some people don't have to work, I don't guess. I have a job.
I don't know. I probably built, I know I built at least 70 to 80 of them before I was 18 years old. And I started out building model airplanes. Military planes is my favorite. Still is my favorite. I just had to get out of it because the parts are so small for my eyes now, and I got fat finger syndrome too. So I got into building military armor, tanks and stuff. I love building them because you don't have to be real particular on your paint job. They're supposed to mean they're supposed to look dirty, grimy, war torn, and to me it's fun to do that. I love how they look when they're done. And I just got into that about a year ago, and I got to looking on the internet to find um, groups that to get tips from, and that's when I ran across your videos. I got to watching your videos, and I thought, you know what? You make that look so fun. You're sitting there. It's like we're all sitting there together in one room watching you build these models, and it really got me interested in cars, and that's how I got into cars. So back up again, from 18 to about 30, 29 or 30, I didn't hardly do any model building, maybe one or two. And then when my son got old enough, I felt like he was old enough to build a model. We started getting into it again. And since then, I've probably put together 40 or 50 of them since probably 2012. And it seems like the older I get, the more into it I get. And I never have really got out of the hobby per se, but I really just kind of went back into it full bore. And I just love it. It's a good time.
Yeah. I tried to get my son into it. Um, there's something about there's a disconnect in the new generation of people, and I don't know if it's like cell phones and all the communication ways you can communicate and video games and things like that. But I tried to get him. He built a couple, um, but it didn't seem to interest him. And I'm not going to push him. I'm not going to say, no, you're going to get out here and you're going to build this. And the same with my daughter Ruthie. She built a couple. Let's see. She built a boat. That's right. What, darn, this is backwards. There's the boat right there. Anyway, she built that boat and she built a Mustang and some other stuff. But it was like she would do it when I would say, come on out and build with me. She would. But if I didn't do that, then she wouldn't. And she's got a Chevelle, 1970 Chevelle that's sitting here right on the table that um, she became a teenager and now she likes a lot of other things. But anyway, what my point was, it seems like our age group, um, the cutoff, you don't see many younger people doing it. It's mostly people starting in their 40s, especially if you look at my YouTube. The age group that I reach in my YouTube videos, it's like from 45 to 65 is the main group. In like 0 to 18, obviously there's no zero age people watching YouTube, but that's how they have it. There's hardly any in that group, and maybe just a few in the 20s. But generally, it's us that didn't have the video games, and if we did, it was like an Atari 2600, and it was kind of primitive. So it's something that I did as a child, and I always liked it. Even in the years I didn't build, I would always go to the store and look at the models. I wouldn't buy them, and I got back into it, and I I've run out of room. Anyway, I like buying them a lot better than I do building them. It's so much more fun to me to get them in the mail and just look at them. But
You talk about Atari. I had that too. Actually, I don't know, about when did they come out? 79 or 1980, right
it
around
was I
there,
think it was the late 70s. Yeah,
Even then, I loved video. I could spend an hour or two playing video games, but I'd always put that down and go sit down at my desk and work on a model car. I never let video games consume me to that point. But the kids
yeah,
today, that's pretty much all they know is video games, phones, computer games, and that's all they're interested in. And I think a lot of the problem is their parents um, never introduced them to anything other than that. You
yeah.
know, my dad introduced me to model building. Your
Mine
dad
too.
probably did
Yep,
too. And most
mine too.
most everybody's listening right now, that's the case.
Yep, I
I
see that a
believe.
lot on the comments. Yeah,
Yeah, but I never really. I mean, I love playing video games, but I never let it consume me. You're more likely to of an evening see me sitting down building models, not
yeah,
playing video
yeah. Same here.
games. So, but it's not that way today. I understand the kids. It's so in their face now. Video games,
Yeah,
computer stuff, and
it is
most nights
a
my daughter.
it's a somewhat of a stimulant for them that I don't think you get from sitting and actually having to. paint and glue and doing things like that. There's a difference in how it stimulates the brain. I was going to read this. John Paul says that his son is ADHD and he builds and it helps him to focus. I could see that. I could definitely see a person with a ADHD or something like that sitting down and actually taking time to build a kit, and it probably would calm their mind. And James Maroon, you said that you sent me a model and I should get it Thursday. I appreciate that. I guess you sent it to the PO box that I put in the description of my videos, the last video. If so, I really appreciate that, and I'll be sure to mention that when it comes in. Just want to read a few more of these. They come by so fast. Hobby Barn, yeah, I totally get it about the PS4 situation. I sure do. I'm 13 and build model kits.
Awesome.
Are you kidding me? You're 13 years old and you're building model kits?
Awesome.
Your dad doesn't make you? Sup, dude? That's the guy's name here. Sup, dude. Troy, can you see these comments? Or
no, I
can you
can't
see
see them.
Are you on your phone? Okay.
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
Yeah, Galaxy Steve says people in general aren't interested in cars anymore or mechanical things. You better believe that's the truth. I just saw that they came out with a Ford Lightning electric. I mean, give me a break. A Ford Lightning that's electric. I've got a Ford Lightning sitting in my garage I'm trying to get put together. It's not electric. And we've gone through the whole entire engine and everything. So you're right about that. They're not interested. Mopar Nut says today's kids can't park a car or drive a stick. It's over. My son-in-law is, and if you watch this, Garrett, I'm not being ugly. I'm just telling the truth. My son-in-law is 24, I think, 23, 24. I think he just had birthday, 24. He's never driven a stick shift in his life. I learned on a Volkswagen van. That's how I learned to drive. And I was embarrassed to drive the Volkswagen van to school, so I'd have my friend drive and I would hide in the floorboard. And now I wish I had that Volkswagen van. It's like, what in the world? Galaxy Steve said he still has his Atari.
Awesome.
They're just no fun anymore. If you look at the new games compared to the Atari, and we're not talking about games. I'll totally get off subject here. Mike Pfeiffer says he's never owned an unopened kit because I have to see how the parts are made. Oh, Johan turbine car was the most fascinating to me. I looked for a Johan turbine, that Chrysler. Have you ever seen that car, Troy? Jay Leno has one, and I looked for the kit the other day. They're like somewhere from $175 to $200 for that kit. I would love to have that one, but I'm not going to. But if anybody wants to send me one, I'll sure build it on this channel. But anyway. Keep building and learn to drive a stick shift. It's worth it. You better believe it's worth it.
You know, Matt, I learned how to drive on a Chevy Chevette.
Chevy Chevette.
Remember the Chevy Chevette?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and Galaxy Steve also said that very few cars made today are worth building a model of, in his opinion. And I totally agree. I don't have any interest at all in building anything in the 90s or anything newer than that, really. Although they were still somewhat big cars then that were interesting. But no, I don't have any interest at all. Brandon says he has horrible anxiety and building models has helped him so much. That's interesting.
Brandon, I have that same problem. I have anxiety issues too, and that's another reason why I sit down and build, because when I'm doing that, I'm not thinking about the worries and concerns that I have in the world. I'm just concentrating on models. And I'm with you on that, Brandon.
Yeah. Kids have no imagination these days. They don't have to have an imagination, John. It's fed by everything that they put in front of their face, like this. This is their imagination. So they don't have to do that. It's kind of weird. I'm actually excited to come build this little plastic car and get it put together but then I think about this. I put it on the shelf and I'm like, it's done. That stinks. I got to do another one. So, yeah. It's a cool hobby. It's a some people say it's not, but I think it's a dying hobby. because again, there are some, and like earlier, that guy, Sup Dude, said he's 13 and he's doing it. You're very rare if you're that young and you're doing it on your own initiative. You just don't see it that often. And I don't want to keep beating a dead horse. Boo the Ford
Well,
Electric. Yeah, for sure.
um, Matt, our library, our local library here, I think I've talked to you about it. We have a model club there, and we've had 20 kids show up to this. And just tonight, before I got on with you, I was there, and we just finished up our first build. And the kids are loving it. They're already asking when we're going to do the next build, and it's really taken off. I'm really surprised, but and that's the younger age group of 8, 9 year olds. And then, I'm sorry, my voice is kind of, I got these
Oh, you're
allergies.
fine.
So tomorrow night will be the 10 on up age group, and there's more of those kids
That's
there.
very
So
cool.
the parents just start introducing them to this kind of stuff, these hobbies. This is fascinating stuff to these kids, and they're loving it. I
Are they
think.
building cars or what? What are they building?
Well,
Mostly.
we start off with a tank. We're building tanks, and then the next build will be a car.
All right.
And they're really excited about the car. And then one girl asked if we can build ships,
You got a couple years.
and I'm like, never built one, never built a ship. But you know what? There's the first time for everything. And if that's what you guys want to do, and it keeps you interested, we're going to build a ship.
Yeah, well, let me know because I have a couple of tanks up here. I've got a M4 Sherman and something else I can't see, and I'll probably never build them. And I've got some little small airplanes and things like that. If you could, if those kids would build them, I'll send them to you, and you can give them to them, and
That would be awesome. Yep.
or a car. I don't know if I could park my cars though. I could send them I could send them a Mac DM600 by
No, I
MPC.
think I'll pass on that one. Heard too many bad
That's
things.
the biggest piece of junk I've ever came across. But anyway, I was going to mention Sarah Jane said she was in England, and it is 12:33 over there right now. And thank you for subscribing, Sarah. Um, yeah, England. Wow, that's a long way over.
Mhm.
So
That's
the
awesome, though.
13-year-old sup dude. I guess my grandpa's love for the cars rubbed off onto me and makes me want to learn about cars. And a lot of my friends get annoyed by it because they don't understand uh, half the stuff I say. Yeah, you're right, and they won't understand it. But I'm sure glad to know that you take the time to build model cars or ships or airplanes or anything like that. Um, very very cool. Well, I don't want to just aimlessly ramble on. How long has it been? I don't. Oh wow, we've been on here almost an hour. All right, so we'll go to an hour and then we can shut this thing off and we can go enjoy the rest of our evening and get ready for work tomorrow because that's what real life people do. Um, Mike Pfeiffer, my dad helped me build that Revell self-propelled howitzer when I was 4 years old, and I'm 68 and still building. Wow, I would like, I would love to get an old kit like that and build it, but when I get it, I don't want to build it. Let me ask you a question, Mike Pfeiffer. When I got back into the hobby, I assumed that the old kits were better. So I went on a buying spree on eBay and bought a lot of older kits. And I built a few of them and I had a lot of trouble with them. And then I bought a few new kits, especially Revell and things like that. And it seems to me, although you would think different, you would think old cars quality is better in real things. But when you buy the model kits, tell me, is was the quality very, very poor back in those days because of the technology of, I guess, creating the molds and things like that? And maybe John, if John Paul's still on here, he's been building a long time. Has it improved dramatically from 50 years ago? or have they remained somewhat consistent? Just with my experience, it seemed like the older ones were a little bit. They had issues. New versions are way better. Okay, I thought that might be the case, but old versions are way cooler. So John says, yeah, John Paul says that his first kit was the James Bond car that he built with his dad. I've heard you say that several times on your videos that I think you said you even still have it, right, John? Old kits are better. Oh no. That's what Mopar Nut says. Work tomorrow. Where'd it go? I just lost it. Work. I'm on night shift. I got to start getting ready in a few minutes. Yeah, I get up at 4:40 in the morning and go into work, so I have to get to bed fairly early as well. There are a lot of better kits now, so yeah. The new kits are better, but the old kits are cooler, and that's why I buy these old kits. Especially, I just got. Here's one here. I just got in from Hobby Nut. I bought this. It was a used kit. Dang, this camera's backwards. So it's this 27 Street Rod by Revell, and it's, let's see what year this thing was put out, if it's got a date. I don't think it. 1982. All right, so isn't that cool? The box is kind of beat up, but you don't see that one very often, and I just got it. 27 Street Rod. And it seems like I got another one, but I don't remember. Oh yeah, here it is. Not that this is, let me show you all my model kits, but I just got this one in too. It's Revell Model T with a trailer. I doubt I'll build the trailer. It takes up too much space. But I also got that from Market Hobby Nut. And a whole bunch of other stuff. And the coolest thing is the toy, this the other day when I got it, because they just re-released this kit, but this is the old one, and it's got Toys R Us $2.23 sticker. I thought that is so cool, and it's like a 1978 kit or something like that. But anyway, we got 1 minute, and we're going to close this thing down. Let me read a few more comments. And what time is it in Illinois right now? Just 1 hour different, right? So it's,
yeah, it's 6:38.
It's 6:38.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
You've only been on for
okay, yeah.
You've only been on for about 40 minutes, I think.
Is it?
40
okay,
minutes.
my live stream shows 59 minutes. Well, we'll just take a few more minutes and we'll call it a night. But used to work in a plastic factory, blow mold and injection. They were so. Johan kits are real brittle. The only Johan kit I've got, John, is that one that I just recently got that Steve Curry sent to me, and he had started it back in the late 70s or the mid late 70s, and I'm going to try and finish it up for him. 748 in Kentucky. What part of Kentucky you at, Harvey Barn? Chris Callen lives in Henderson, Kentucky. He'll be on with our next live stream. He was going to try and get on tonight, but he wasn't able to. Don't drop it. I don't want to drop any of them because I put way too much time in them, John Paul. Well, any last words, Troy?
No. I think this live stream is going to be good. Helps us guys that don't really have anybody to share the hobby with, talk about with. It's going to be a good thing. So
definitely, and we're not above having other people come on here and having their chance to talk too. Right. The comment section is just not, I can't read them all, but the comment section is a great place to comment, but it's not a great place to have a conversation. So we might even have other people come on from time to time. I have a few ideas already. Anyway.
So I noticed you said that you don't like NASCAR kits or putting them together, but you have a lot of them back there.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of them. Yeah, I do. I like NASCAR kits as long as they're in the box on the shelf. I built a few. I've got this box full of stuff down here behind me that's some old stuff from when I was a kid. Somehow I ended up salvaging some of that stuff. And there's some old half-built NASCAR stuff in there, but I don't know. I'm just not real big. It seems to me a NASCAR kit is much like a cookie cutter. When you get one on, the only thing that's going to be different generally is the color on the body, or if the brand. But you take that body off, they're all the same. So it just, and I know I'll get flack for that. No, they're not all the same. They are pretty much all the same. NASCAR after 1985. So that's why I don't enjoy NASCAR kits. It's just repetition. Some guys just love them. I'll just let them stay up there. I do have a few neat ones. I've got an old Harry Gant and an old Darrell Waltrip Mountain Dew car. I don't see it right now. Where did it go? There it is. So those are some pretty cool kits. But those Salvino kits are pretty nice.
That was my favorite driver when I was a kid, Darrell Waltrip.
Darrell Waltrip, yeah. Boogity.
Yeah.
Well, Galaxy Steve, I appreciate you too. Thanks for doing this. He says, great to kind of have a conversation with you. Well, anytime. I'll give you my phone number if you want it. That's how Troy talked to me. I'm just a normal fella. Got to get up and go to work in the morning. All right, everybody, I'm done. Troy, thanks for coming on. We'll plan this again, and we'll have 4 of us on here, and we'll take turns giving our background. And Mark from Hobby Nut will be on here, and Chris Callan. You guys, if you haven't already, go to Chris Callan's auto art page. It's in the link in the description. He does some amazing painting. He likes to go to car shows, takes a picture of the car, and then he paints the cars. He does consignments and things such as that for people, but it's really, really interesting. See ya, Mopar Nut. Hey, Tony Lancer, you're just about to catch the end of this thing, but I appreciate you sending me that Oldsmobile. Thanks a lot. Anyway, what was I saying? I've already forgot. Anyway, I'm out of here. See ya, Troy. We'll plan the next one, and we'll send a notification out so everybody can be notified ahead of time. This was kind of short notice today, but thanks for everybody for taking part and commenting. But that's it. See you guys later.
Everybody have a good night.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.